ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. My name is Mike Larkin, and as always, I am joined by that boy, the man with the plan. Hot damn, that boy, Roberto Davis. Robert, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Rob. And as always, we are joined by the Demoness. Come to caress, take your soul, put you in a hole. Everybody dies. What? The one, the only, Miss Nicola McDonald. How are you? Black Hearts, baby. All right now.
I'm breathing. I'm okay. Hi, Mike. Hi, Rob.
Hi. Well, then you may be wondering why we're also doing those sounds, because we just watched, and we're doing a watch along and talking about the great matchup between AJ Styles and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Save me, Tanahashi-san! From Final Resolution 2006. First time that we really saw Hiroshi Tanahashi in the States, an International X Division showcase of young 29-year-old Hiroshi Tanahashi, young 25-year-old AJ Styles, 3 years of TNA being into an existence, Tanahashi really making a name for himself in New Japan, going against the likes of the Brock Lesnar's, the Kurt Angles, the Scott Halls, as Mike Tenay mentioned in the G1 Climax. Y'all, what a time for professional wrestling, and I'll start with Rob. Your thoughts of seeing a young Tanahashi-san?
You know, the irony of it all is he just had his last match in the United States not too long ago. So to see kind of what I guess would be one of his first, if not his first match, it's definitely different from the Tanahashi that I've come to know and appreciate over the last couple of years. Makes me kind of want to go back and check out more of young Tanahashi-san.
Nico, I'll start with you. We'll start with you as well on the Tanahashi front before we get to our boy Uncle Alan. Your thoughts on a young Tanahashi here? Then we would go see in New Japan. Now the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is wild. Your thoughts on Tanahashi-san?
It's weird, like you said, seeing them back then to what they are now. It was quite strange, but the moves he's very talented. He always has been. So seeing what obviously that was the first time I'd seen that match, like I said. But wow, how he's evolved to what he is now. That is amazing. So, yeah, I think it was really cool to see him younger and see, just how talented he is and still is to this day.
Now let's talk about that boy with that spiked up hair, earring in his ear, that young 25-year-old go hard, Mr. AJ Styles. And Nicola, we'll start with you because you had mentioned to me, and Nicola was very, very blunt about this. This is not that prick AJ Styles who was with Ric Flair. No, Nicola, it is not that prick who was with Ric Flair from 2010. This is early AJ Styles, X Division AJ Styles. Your thoughts?
Okay. So I'm going to verify that. Yes, I did, because I said I've always been a huge fan of AJ Styles, barring when he was with Ric Flair. And that, I did. I called him a prick because he was a prick then. And that was the only time I was like, what? Put you in a suit? Fuck no. So, that was the only time I disliked him. Obviously now, love, respect, talented. But, no. I did get it wrong. I thought it was the Woo era. With him. But it was bad seeing him young. Jesus, the moves they doing then. Licks on a waffle. Never mind.
right. He wasn't even an uncle yet. He's just like cousin AJ right here. So young.
Yeah, it was so weird looking at it. It was just like, wait, what the hell? And obviously that was what drew me to TNA in the first place back then. So it was like, oh wow. So
no soccer mom hair, no
soccer mom haircut,
no.
And it's so funny because I see him do the phenomenal forearm in the match, which was always used as a transitional move. And I mean, we heard the story when he first came into WWE because Vince McMahon at the time heard the rumblings about the Styles Clash because of Roderick Strong and Yoshitatsu getting hurt within their necks. So Vince is like, we got to ban that move. God damn it, he can't use that move. So the phenomenal forearm would become his finisher for a while before then he would start using the Styles Clash again. So every
time. Vince McMahon can suck my dick.
One.
Thinking
about that, how crazy is that to see the phenomenal form, as we know as a transitional move, then will become his finisher in the WWE at the time because, God damn it, we can't have him doing the goddamn Styles Clash. What? So, Robert, I'll start with you on that. How crazy to see is that as the transitional, then the finisher years later, and to what we would see in this matchup.
It kind of speaks to the testament of the longevity AJ Styles has because 20 years later, he can still hit it.
Oh yeah,
and that's Pretty phenomenal, no pun intended.
Nicola, I'll go with you. Your thoughts on the phenomenal form really being a transition, then his finisher in WWE, and seeing it used spectacularly in this fashion in this matchup.
If there obviously some things we can't do now, but yeah, the transit watching it was very cool, and he's always been a bit different. So I'm like, he's got his own. Every wrestler has their own uniqueness, but was definitely. I always thought his finisher was my favourite part of what he did. So yeah, before I go on another tantrum about nothing, so yeah, I'll stop myself now.
No, you're fine. We're going to get into a tangent later, just because since we're talking about AJ, we'll mention a certain WrestleMania match at the end of this fine. Yeah. So I will say this about AJ Styles. One of my favorite moves that he did that he tried to go for in this matchup was, of course, the springboard reverse DDT, which I got to say right now, if y'all have not seen Fraxium, which you should, Nathan Fraser does that so smoothly and quickly and with such precision now. I love how he adopted that from AJ's moves in Arsenal, man.
Kind of watching Nathan Fraser. It's hard to call him Nathan Fraser because I met him as Ben Carter. But watching him in AEW and kind of going back and watching, he kind of reminds me of a young AJ.
Oh yeah,
it's the similarities are definitely there.
And I got to ask you, Nicola, and you're not going to waffle on. You're totally fine. We appreciate your opinions, you crazy demon lady. I look at
no. You know that I'm like looking like this because I'm drained to the maximus right now.
You're
but
fine.
If I waffle, I'll waffle. But suck my dick all the same.
So your thoughts on the influence of Nathan Fraser from AJ Styles, that reverse DDT, and also just the influx that he's had on a lot of our favorite superstars now with their high-octane maneuvers.
I love seeing other people's moves, like his moves being used by other people, because he's obviously the first and he always will be. But I think it makes him happy too that other people are using his moves. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. There we go. We'll go with that.
Did you also see? It's so funny to me because you know who originally did the Styles Clash? Like there was a couple people, Easy Money, who was in ECW, the original ECW, and here's a name who was also in TNA and WWE. In TNA, he was Mad Mikey, but God rest his soul, Crash Holly. He also used it as a finisher for a little bit. He called it the Crash Landing.
Did he?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he did it for a little bit. He called it the Crash Landing. Yeah, and I look at it like this: the influx of where we take moves. Like I even learned about this, like Christian, everybody's favorite dad over in AEW now. Before Christian would come to TNA a year after this match, well, actually the year of this match, because he had just signed with TNA 2005 and 06. Like the Unprettier wasn't even his move. Like he had to switch it because Mark Marrow started using the TKO. Christian was using the TKO, and so he had to switch because Mark Marrow asked him if I could use that move because he was recovering and rehabbing from injury. So Christian gave Mark Marrow the TKO, and then Christian would have the Unprettier, and now Chelsea Green doing the Unprettiers, right?
Is he still wearing his tight jumpers and shit? Because I haven't actually watched anything from him recently, so I can't remember.
Yes. And he also pretty much said that he had sex with Mother Wayne after Nick won the Ring of Honor television title. Yeah, you got it on, man.
Oh, you know what? I'm so glad I didn't get to comment on that because
he said I celebrated with your mother many a time. Wow!
Ain't it?
Wow!
Get back in your grandpa rocking
much there, Dad.
I look at it like this, y'all. I mean, for this particular time period as well, these two, I said, let's watch this without context, and then I'll give you context afterwards. So at this particular time period, AJ Styles, 2005, what a year he had, because a couple months before this match, we had the unforgettable match that still gets talked about 20 years later, the unbreakable match with Styles, Daniels, and Samoa Joe for the X Division Championship main eventing. He would also feud with Samoa Joe for a little bit around this particular time, and then he would be Mr. TNA of 2005. He would get the plaque, and then Shannon Moore, who had just gotten released from WWE after being an MFer, managed follower for so long with one Matthew M. Hardy. And that particular time period, he comes into TNA with his mohawk. He's the Prince of Punk. The X Division's going to get punked. No pun intended to Ashton Kutcher's MTV show. Got to get him punked. He's wearing the sign. He throws powder like he's friggin' Mr. Fuji. in AJ Styles' eyes. And then we have this matchup that they would have on Impact in a street fight, and Shannon Moore would actually beat AJ Styles, and then they would have a couple more matches, and then Shannon Moore would go back to the WWE on the ECW brand as the Reject, and I can't wait to see Nicolas' face after I mention this sentence. So he comes back as the Reject on the ECW brand. He goes, I'm the Prince of Punk, and I'm bringing sexy back, and then someone comes into the frame. He looks at him, scowls at him, pulls his little shirt and goes, you're a poser, and then he smacks him, and that guy would be CM Punk, and then he would CM Punk for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Hi, Shannon. Okay, yeah, we're good.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, CM Punk bitch slapping Shannon Moore and calling him a poser.
Poser.
Yeah, welcome back to WWE, Shannon. Oh boy. So this
particular done that when he went back to WWE after AEW, and someone's Seth Rollins should have done it.
Was hoping Randy would have gave him a good "you stole my moment."
Boom.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They hugged it out, which was fucking no.
Well, yeah, I mean, we grow as people in time, but I mean, Punk still has his punk.
Really?
I mean, he still has his punk tendencies. I will say that.
Yeah,
I will say that. But yeah, no.
Is he still crying about losing in WrestleMania?
No. I mean, they're setting up Roman and Punk now against Seth Rollins and the new Paul Heyman guy, Braun Breaker. Oh.
Wait, what? Yeah, I've missed all this. I saw this, and I was like, what the fuck happened now? Are they creating their own bloodline thing?
No, it's the Dangerous Alliance 2.0, right, Robert?
He's got the dog in him.
He's got the dog in him. So it's the Dangerous Alliance, like when he was Paulie Dangerously in WCW, mixed with like Evolution. I got to say, if this is a way to propel Braun Breaker, I'm here for it. That's what better way to do it. Hey.
Yeah, let's do it.
You reckon it could be any members?
Amongst the PSK, we've been talking about Braun being a Paul Heyman guy for a while, so we were all pretty excited for that.
I mean, they had that little exchange on NXT when he wrestled Carmelo Hayes, and that was the night of you bald assholes and Tony Khan losing his mind. So, I mean, we did get that. So, I mean, there was that nice little tie-in of the NXT there with that storyline. But, yeah, they're setting that up, and now we're going straight into John Cena and Randy Orton because Randy RKO'd that boy on Raw and last night.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And Rob, sorry, I was talking to you then. My bad.
No, you're fine.
You can curse me later.
Thank you, Randall, because, I mean, it's crazy to think now that from where we were in 2007 and 2009, respectively, like John Cena was always the babyface, Randy Orton the heel. Now the roles will reverse. Randy's the face and John is the heel, that douchebaggery of a heel that he is. And I'm looking forward to it. I got to say, if there's anyone on the farewell tour that he needs to wrestle, it's got to be Randall K. It's got to be. And it fits perfectly.
Yeah. You know what I hate about this? Even though he's acting like his character from freaking Fast and Furious, I'm still sticking to that because that is exact. I watched the film after as well and was like, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, it's a fact. He's doing that. But it's annoying because as much as I hate what he's doing, it's his end tour. So I can't, it's like really a hate and love relationship with that at the same time as, fuck you, dude, but go for it.
That 6-year-old gave me the finger. Real classy.
That was funny as hell. I was like, we give you the finger every fucking week, mate. But we're not 6-year-olds.
But we're not 6-year-olds.
Act like it sometimes, but
hey, well,
we all liked it, so yeah, fuck it.
I will say this. I mean, looking at this match too as well, guys, back to the match. Like, I thought, I have not watched this, I'm going to say right now, in over 19 years. This is my first time watching. Nicolas' first time seeing it. Robert, I believe this is your first time seeing it as well?
It is.
So I remember as a kid, 13-year-old kid, right, watching this pay-per-view with my daddy. Oh, shout out to Papa Lark and Mama Lark in the den here at our house. Yes. Like, as a kid on Long Island, New York, watching this pay-per-view, starting to see TNA, because if you guys realize, like, this is the first year, like, TNA Impact officially went to Spike TV at this time, late in 2005, and they're starting to get some steam, and seeing this matchup here, we had a nice little transition between the two, like the neck breaker spot out of the suplex, Tanahashi with a nice full Nelson slam, AJ with the drop-down drop kick that we've seen many a times in his arsenal, and like we mentioned, Shannon Moore with the plaque, and then the Styles Clash for the 3. I think what we saw here was just a really stepping stone of where we would go, and we'll touch upon their New Japan stuff as well. Now, for you, do you like how we started, like the foundation of what the X Division really represented in TNA, especially around this time? It's all about weight. It's no weight limits. It's no limits. It's no limits, no weight limits, no limits type of vibe here. Go ahead, Robert Davis, as I put it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think the X division was always the cornerstone of TNA, and to an extent, I think it kind of still is. And the fact that they have this, where you can literally just put anybody up against anybody, is something very unique to TNA, and over the years has brought us a lot of fantastic matches.
Oh, agreed. And I mean, like we mentioned, it's not about weight limits; it's about no limits. And now that I got that straight out of my mouth, Nicola McDonald, let's touch upon this because when you think of the X Division, you think of AJ Styles, multiple-time X Division champion, the rivalry that he would go on to have with Christopher Daniels, and then later that year they would feud with the debuting LAX, Toss the Salad SA, Conan, Homicide, and Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yep, to live and die in LAX and Christopher Daniels. Okay, so I got to mention this. AJ Styles was in a neck brace. He got the Gringo Killer from Homicide, and Christopher Daniels was like, "You want to hurt my friend? Why don't you come and kill this Gringo?" So Christopher Daniels saying Gringo in 2006 was also very much a highlight of that feud. So now I'll go to Nico this one. Your thoughts on the X Division and how it was being showcased here, and especially with the forefront of the phenomenal AJ Styles, as Robert calls him here, Cousin Allen, if you will.
Yeah. So for me, the X Division was always the one thing I looked forward to when I was watching TNA. It was like mainly the main build for it, or to my mind anyway. But weren't AJ the first ones to ever win the X Division champ?
Yes.
Yeah, so that had a big impact as well because he's now the first one to win it, and then it just made his evolution a lot better. But like you said, but yeah, as far as Christopher Daniels and all that stuff goes, yeah, I remember all of that stuff because didn't AJ go against Samoa Joe for a long while as well? And then they all did like interactive. Yeah, see, I know. I pay attention, even if I am fucking delusional right now. But anyway,
I am. I do have to ask this now because Roberto, I know you took your break from wrestling. I know this is your first time seeing the great talents that are Styles and Tanahashi. You came back in 2006 with TNA, right?
Kind of here and there.
Here and there? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know we've touched upon Decay many of times on this show because we love us some Decay. So I know you came in back with 2000.
Oh, I mean,
hey now.
Mama Dean.
Oh, Robert was pissed. Okay, we're going to bring this up because Robert.
What was this about?
So he knows where I'm going. So
yeah.
Monday at Rebellion, we are going to have a Team TNA versus Team NXT match, as it is Fatal Influences, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley against Rosemary, the former Xia Li, and Xia Brookside. And, well, this past week on Impact, Rosemary fought JC Jane, and the Demon Mother took the pin.
What the fuck? No. What? Oh, you stop pinning.
Just scrolling through and they're just like,
oh, I did see a video of her. I did see a video of her where she came out and interfered with someone or someone's match. She had like red eyes and she had blown mist at someone.
Yeah, that was Xia Brookside. And it's Xia Li, yeah, it was Xia
I saw the clip of that, but I didn't realize it's still this. What the fuck, TNA? Why are you getting it? You know what? She should drag your sorry asses to the undead world. You keep doing this shit to her. Seriously. Don't mess with demons. Especially that motherfucking one. She's a legend. You're going to die. We're going to kill you.
This is why
everybody dies.
This is why I love the TNA NXT relationship. It just gets you too hyped because of Rosemary taking the pins. But no, I think it's great to get exposure on both ends. But yeah, Rosemary taking the pin on Thursday. They better win.
Taken though recently,
fuckers. Now they better win.
She better kill everybody on Sunday.
Sorry, hi, mother. I don't mean it that way, but no, what? Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, they're gonna be here tomorrow, so I might have to go see her.
They're in Cali tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be at USC.
How long will it take me to jump on a oh wait, no, sorry, just summon me. I'll be there.
That's all we need.
So he just needs to summon, and
we'll leave the door unlocked on the undead realm.
So that will be on the countdown show of Rebellion on Sunday. The Team TNA, Team NXT women.
You know what? She better win that. I swear to God, or I'm gonna riot.
I'll send you the match. It'll be on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it. I'll send you the match. So if Robert doesn't, we'll send you the match. So
that's so wrong. What the fuck? Oh, that makes me angry. Really pissed. That's annoying. Why?
So this match here, and again, watching Styles and Tanahashi, like we mentioned, guys, go back and watch it. It was a transition of just great moves and just great talents that would propel. Now, we have to talk about the New Japan stuff as well, because fast forwarding to the mid-2000s, we would have AJ and Tanahashi when AJ was in the Bullet Club. Throw him up, baby. Too sweet me. Against Tanahashi, Go Ace. This was the introduction to Go Ace from 2006 to 2015. These two would have great matches together in Japan. AJ just coming off of TNA because he said, hell no, I am not going to take a pay cut. I have been here since the beginning. Fuck you and your evil ways, and fuck the Hulk Hogan and fuck the Eric Bischoff while you're at it, son.
Yep.
And then,
cut this.
He was saying to all of you, suck my dick.
Three. So... Three. So AJ would go on to New Japan and be in the Bullet Club. And for you, Mr. Bullet Club, for life. What were your thoughts? So what were your thoughts on seeing them Roberto in New Japan and really AJ coming into his own as a part of the Bullet Club, man?
It was wild because watching Prince Devitt leave was just like,
what?
Yo, that's
sorry.
What? What's gonna happen next? And then AJ Styles debuts, I believe, that same night.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just like, okay, everything's gonna be just fine, and it was.
And Skinny Finny would then go on to NXT and team briefly with Hideo Itami, aka Kenta, and then WrestleMania. Fast forward, he loses to Dom Dom and takes the pin in the Intercontinental.
Don't get me started on that either, because there's another rant to do with that as well.
Well, there's talk of him and Finn for SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title. I ain't mad at it. Finn better whoop that boy, though.
I mean,
he looks like he's gonna whoop him every time he looks at him. You could tell, like he's got this. I think it's because also his facial features, like he's like, yeah, we're good. But inside, you're like, he's gonna either his demons brewing, or he's just gonna fucking rip you a new butthole, mate.
Dominic has a lot of balls because he taunted that Intercontinental Championship right in front of Scott Steiner.
Boy.
And he's like, hey. And then Scott's like, hey, you cheating bastard. And I'm like, there you go, Scott. Never change, Scott. Never change.
I feel that. And the worst part is, it's like, yeah, great. I was happy he'd won it in a sense, because it's like, okay, yeah. But now I'm like, oh, fuck off. He pinned Finn, and Finn's going to kill you soon. So he's trying to, I think, yeah, fuck it. Judgment Day.
I mean, it was cool. Dom won, and, everything.
But he should have pinned Finn, though.
But, like, Finn takes the pin, and I'm just like,
oh. Yeah, no.
I get
it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, no, anyone else. He could have pinned Penta, but Finn?
I mean, they're setting up the Judgment Day split, so it makes sense. But still, I know. Poor Finn keeps eating the L's. That's the problem. He keeps taking the L's.
Yeah.
What if he is going back?
I mean, I look at it like this, too, as well. Much to Robert's point with Finn leaving the Bullet Club, let's put this into the forefront. You're forgetting the most important member of the Bullet Club at this time. Come on.
Captain New Japan.
Mi amigos. Come on.
No.
Yeah, Jared was a part of the Bullet Club at that time. Come on,
He sure was.
Oh, boy.
Hell no. Oh, that man. That's not even, I don't know what you want to call that, but yeah, no. Judgmental arsehole. How's it go, Jeff Hardy? But now he's worse. Fuck off. Yeah, I went there.
It gets me every time.
He pisses me off because of the fact of that timing. He was like, you're an alcoholic. Look at the state of you now, man, compared to what he's doing. Actually, don't get me started on that either.
No, but yeah, no. That was the time period where we had that and the start of Global Force Wrestling, which go back and watch our previous episodes where we touched on that here. But I think the influx of the Bullet Club and its importance there, AJ being an integral part, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, much like in this match, was always a top babyface. Go Ace, you know what I'm saying? And he really showed up and showed out during the mid-2000s. And I got to ask you, and we'll touch upon Uncle Alan here as well, Miss Nicola McDonald, your thoughts on AJ and that Bullet Club and him and Tanahashi later, kind of revisiting what we saw here.
I think it was cool he was in the Bullet Club. I just didn't realise the other twat was in it. So, yeah, that's frustrating to find out. Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was part of a faction now because he wasn't, he was with a big group. And I don't know, he's always been pretty good in groups, no matter what it's been.
I mean,
if it's that,
The OC, man. Beat up John Cena.
What's the OC's favorite thing to do?
Beat up
John Cena.
Can we run that back one more time, please, now with AJ Styles and John Cena, please?
We might have to.
We might have.
You know what made me laugh? If them two end up going against each other, now that would be something. And I will throw that into the universe because you put him against Logan Paul, for fuck's sake. But anyway, whatever.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. One of my favorite AJ Styles matches was John Cena and AJ Styles at Royal Rumble. I forgot what year that was.
2017.
2017, right? Yeah. That match was phenomenal.
My favorite one was him against Christopher Daniels.
Which one?
I know. I know. There's the original, like maybe the first feud they had.
Oh, the 30-minute Iron Man match. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought his best fuse was with Christopher Daniels because, like he said in his interview, they all knew how to work each other. So I think him and the first match, was pretty amazing. So, and all the matches they had were always pretty crazy, especially the one TNA when they try to pretend that he had cheated on his wife with that pregnant bird, Claire, whatever it was.
Please don't bring up Claire Lynch.
Well, that was so bullshitty every time. And that's the first time I sat there going, Daniels, please shut up. This is cringy.
It was supposed to be like it was not real and they were setting him up. But the problem was the actress that they got, I'm an addict. And if she was supposed to be like Dixie Carter's like cousin or niece or something, and it didn't work, and then they put like friggin' pictures together that were like heads pressed to make it like they were having sex, and they tried to imply that AJ was having sex with Dixie Carter, and then here comes Serge Salinas out of nowhere, just plops AJ Styles with a right hand. It's like, fuck you, Serge. Like, what the fuck? Oh god, it was terrible. It was bad.
That was one of the worst storylines there was.
Now I have to actually ask this. We mentioned Roberts like getting back into TNA here, and of course we mentioned the Decay. Y'all can put the black hearts up there because we mentioned the Decay. Booyaka Sean, thank you, y'all. Now I have to ask you, Nicola. I think in our friendship that brought TNA and us together, and our friendship over this many years, my demon friend. What actually was the year that you started watching TNA?
If I'm honest, I can't really remember that far back right now.
Damn. Okay. Was it like during when he was a prick? Ric Flair type of deal, like around that time, or
no? It was maybe just before that.
Oh, 2009.
Yeah, 2009, and then I was proper hooked. In literally just after that. So yeah, I was a TNA fan for a very, very long time. So, and I did see it live in the UK as well, which was quite because I was there for their cage matches. So there was that as well. But I'm not, fuck you, Ace and Nates. I still regret that to this day. We will do a show and I'll explain that properly. But yeah.
Just right.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, David. Sorry, whoever else it was. I've forgotten the other two.
Sorry, James Storm.
Sorry.
Ben.
Oh, that is still, that was.
I cannot wait till we talk about the aces and eights so we get to that episode.
Oh, James, you're good, mate.
You're good, mate. I think people just kept on throwing more beer at him. That was the problem.
Did he have the Boozer Cruiser at the time that he was riding on that? The Boozer
I'm not sure because that was, I don't even remember. When the Wolves come into TNA, that's when I saw him live. Okay. Or one of the times. I saw him a lot in the end. So yeah, the 8 and 8 one was the funniest.
Now,
and apologies.
For the relationship that we had, it was very healthy with TNA and Ring of Honor. Now, before even we had this international X Division showcase, we did have one 3 months prior, since we mentioned the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, and that's the gospel. I look at it like this. Christopher Daniels would also have a match at Sacrifice against a mystery opponent, and they had 3 people to vote from. I believe 2, I forgot who the other one was, but the other one was Matt Sydal, who would then go on to be Evan Bourne, and of course, the great Matt Sydal, and Austin Aries. And guess who? And guess who won? Austin Aries won the friggin' vote, and we had Christopher Daniels versus Austin Aries on paper before he would go to TNA and be the prick that he is. Fuck you, Austin Aries. You still suck.
You know what? He's always going to suck because he likes bananas. Fuck off.
I've always said this. When Bob Saget, God rest his soul, tells you off on Twitter, you know you've done something wrong. When Danny Tanner friggin' makes you look like a fool, brother.
You did.
Anyway.
You done fucked up.
Ricky Hemi should have freaking low blowed that man, seriously. Like, literally punched him square in the nuts for what he did. piece of shit.
Yeah.
Or what would have been funnier if Samuel Shaw was still around at that point and come running out and just fucking buried him. That would have been even more funnier.
Put him in the basement. Put him in the basement. My mom's name is Christy. The whole nine. There you go.
You know what, right? That sort of stuff in reality would creep me the fuck out. But in this scenario, me being a bit, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Scary as fuck, but it's pretty cool. And look how talented he is now. And look where it's, so yeah, fuck it. Why not? But if they're rappers to me, they'll die and just saying.
So two other things I do have to mention from this particular time period, since we did mention the match. And I will say this, if you guys have not checked it out, go to TNA's YouTube channel. The full match is there. That's where we watched it, and we got to see great action, great X Division action, and just great superstars and Styles and Tanahashi-san. So speaking of Tanahashi-san, Robert, I know this is crazy for you to also take in as well. Hiroshi Tanahashi has an historic career, just had his last match in the States, like you've mentioned, but how crazy is it now that he is El Presidente of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
That is wild, but at the same time, I think that man is the right one for the job. He literally gave his adult life to this company, and to have the honor to usher New Japan into the future, because Tony poached the roster. That's another show for another time. To have his hand on some of these new guys like Yota Tsuji and Ren Narita and Shooter, they're going to do some great things, and I'm excited for New Japan and the future that President Tanahashi-san is going to bring in.
As I do the proper bow for the great Tanahashi-san. Nikla, your thoughts on Tanahashi-san as now the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
To be honest, who else would you have? He's the only one you could have. And that, like Rob literally said what I was thinking at the same time. So, that's not unheard of. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. No, yeah, there couldn't be anyone else, could there really? And he, like you said, he's dedicated most of his life to it. So, yeah. Big love to him for doing it. And yeah, awesome.
Well, I think when you have such a presence that Tanahashi has and a mind that he has for professional wrestling, even while
he's also he's very talented.
Yes. And I look at it like this. Only 6 years in the business at the time of this matchup, and AJ had only been in TNA for 3 years. And he had just coming off like that brief WCW. Do you remember his WCW stuff at the end there, Rob, when he was there like very quickly?
Very, very little.
Very little? Okay.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, it was very quickly in WCW. You didn't miss much. And I look at it like this. Then he had the tryout match for WWF against the Hurricane of all people. What's up with that? The Hurricane, Gregory Helms there. And then he would not go to WWE.
That's a name I've not heard for a long ass time.
Well, he's there. He's on WWE. One of the agents. He's the one that fights. Yeah. Hurricane Helms. We have the tryout match. He does not go to WWE. He goes to TNA because he didn't want to be away from his family and have the schedule. So he took a lighter schedule. And I got to say, at the right time, he made the right decision to go to TNA at this time. My goodness gracious. But yeah. And then he would, of course, go to WWE in 2016, which I cannot believe it's already now been 9 years since AJ Styles has been with the WWE. How nuts is that, guys?
Wow, that is. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Wow.
That Royal Rumble debut.
He was afraid nobody would know him.
And that's crazy to even think that.
It's not as if you're going to forget him, is it?
No.
Sorry, Rob, did it again.
Yeah. No, that was pretty much what I was gonna say. Like, man, do you realize who you are?
Exactly. And he had just coming off New Japan. They also got the OC in there, Anderson and Gallows, and of course Nakamura-san. And everything that we would see there. And I got to mention this. So 2 final things I want to mention because it's news and notes. And we did mention the great career of AJ Styles. And we love you, AJ. We do love you, Uncle Alan, because you're the best. And you're phenomenal. As that sign said in the crowd, this match is phenomenal. And that's another thing I'll mention. How crazy was the U.S. fans at the Impact Zone in O-Town, Orlando, Florida, loving them some Tanahashi, Rob?
That's good to see, considering the the jumbled past New Japan does have with TNA, there are some people in that crowd that did appreciate Tanahashi and Okada and Naito and Sonata, everybody that came over. It's good.
Now let's talk good. Let's talk about the fact that you mean Okato and the Great Sonata. Yes. Okay, so fucking Okato. Anyway, bro. Here's what we're gonna do. No, I'm not kidding. We're not gonna get into that fucking dumbass stuff. Let's talk about the fact of the Orlando crowd, the United States crowd, international state side for Hiroshi Tanahashi. How great was it to see the Impact Zone really get into this for you?
It was it was cool to watch because obviously the crowds now for TNA are not like they were back then. So it was quite like that was another thing that draws you in is like the crowd and the crowds back then were obviously they were doing a lot more things differently from what they do now as well. But it was amazing, to see that the energy. I mean, we're not there, but we're watching through the TV, and you can still be like, yeah, let's fucking go. That kind of thing. So yeah, that was there constantly.
Well, they were innovative.
And yes, I do that every time we watch wrestling, by the way. Rob can vouch for this because he hears me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was innovative at the time, too, because nobody had seen, like, the Canadian Destroyers at the time and all the moves that we now see now that are regular. So, I mean, they're hyped and they're amped. I mean, the fans of the mid-2000s were nuts, especially now with these fans that we have now. The nut bars, but also good, passionate, energetic fans. Sometimes can be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but that's another story for another time.
The sickos. The sickos.
Uh-huh. So the other two topics I have to mention, because before we close this out, two more things, folks, because it's been a long week and I haven't talked to these sons of guns in a couple days. So I wanted to touch upon this while we also touch upon this great matchup. The big news from over WrestleMania, and then we'll have Nico's rant at the end of the show here because it pertains to AJ Styles. Nicola. So Tony Khan is now working with CML in a working relationship, but there's a difference between working with a company and acquiring a professional wrestling company. As WWE has acquired AAA, and we saw everybody there from Rey Mysterio, the LWO, Stephanie Vaquer, Andrade, El Hijo del Vikingo got a WrestleMania match, got a WrestleMania spot kicking El Grande Americano, who was not Chad Gable, in their match before his match at Rey Fenix.
That's right.
Wow. Sorry, but that goes up to Chad Gable. Sorry, but you know what? Every time he's on that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but wow, when he was against the White Six, we hated him because he was going to die. But now this is like a new fucking level for him.
But it's
and
not
I want to punch him. I want to physically hit him again.
But it's not Chad Gable. It's
El Grande Americano.
Yeah, of course it is. No offense, but you cannot change your body part.
Gracias. Come on, man. Like, Owen Hart was not the Blue Blazer. Come on, the Blue Blazer wasn't Owen Hart. No.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you hear it's not Chad Gable. Like, yeah, really? Really? Okay, we'll go with that. Right. Sorry, go on.
The people who got pissed, and I mean, Rey Mysterio was going to lose that match. Does it hurt Rey Fenix to take the loss? No. Rey Fenix, the other Rey Fenix got a WrestleMania moment. Pentagon Jr. got a WrestleMania moment. They're going to be just fine. Take it easy, people.
That'll be fine.
Same with Joe Hendry, who got a moment at WrestleMania, and he'll be just fine. The TNA World Champion wrestling at WrestleMania. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a 3-minute match, but I mean, he got the nod of approval from Randy Orton.
Yes, yeah, and then he got slammed to the floor.
Because he RKO'd him twice. Yeah.
Now,
good for Joe.
Joe Hendry, man, and good for the exposure that TNA is going to get. And I mean, look at it like this. We'll start with you, Roberto Davis, because I know you got some feelings. You got some things to say to get off your chest. Talk about WWE acquiring AAA.
I said it on show. I don't remember if it was TSK or if it was this show or it might have been one of the other shows.
Am I here again? What show am I in?
Who am I? Where am I? Oh. But I love pettiness. I love pettiness of all sorts. And AEW announces they're going to be doing this conjoint show with CMLL, and a few days later, WWE buys AAA. It's like, God damn. Well, I guess if you're not going to do it. Well, I scratched that. I believe the Worlds Collide show was announced first.
Yes, it was.
And then, it was announced that, WWE purchased AAA, and it's just like, well, God damn, if you're going to one up the competition, because they're not competition, buy a promotion.
So I got
like what's wrong? Like, what's wrong, Tony? You couldn't buy CMLL? All your billions of dollars in your yacht?
So, with that being said, I have to add to your point because I love your brain on this. So, first and foremost, are you going to go to When Worlds Collide? That's 3 p.m. on June, whatever the hell it is, same day as Money in the Bank?
My good friend TSK Kyle had mentioned that the nosebleed seats for
you,
When
Kyle.
World... but that the nosebleed seats are going for $330.
What?
So
hell no.
Myself, Paul, and we were trying to convince the good doctor, RWT Kingpin, to go to the show because obviously we're in the neighborhood. And oddly enough, Money in the Bank is going to be right up the street at the Infinite Dome later that night, which is weird, but that's another topic for another time. But for $330 to sit in the nosebleeds at 12 in the afternoon,
I feel you.
We might have to wait and see what the rest of the tickets look like.
So I have to go to his point here because with the competition, I always look at it like this. I think WWE wants to do their own thing, and I always put this as an aside. But if there's a way to make Tony Khan go nuts, and it's not that hard to do, yeah. Those ball assholes, we were working with AAA first. You go fuck yourselves.
But some of the news coming out of AAA, I guess Jeremy Borash is going to be helping out with creative. So
see, I'm for that.
I think that's if you're gonna have anybody, it could be him.
I think Ray's going to be like an ambassador now too. Like he can work with a lot of them too, and really get more towns like Regal did for NXT. And I mean, Conan, will we see toss the salad?
We will see. He will be working with them still at capacity. We're not very sure. Alberto Del Rio.
Did he get fired?
He did.
Thank God.
He got released. So, and unironically, he was the AAA Mega Campeon, so he was their top champion, and he got released. So,
didn't he get a fight with somebody in the crowd? I think that was the reason why he got suspended.
Oh, was that it? I'm not 100% sure.
I forgot. It was some crowd incident or some shit. He's a dumbass.
Anyway. We all knew it was a matter of time. As soon as they announced the WWE bought AAA, we were like, "Yep, well, Del Rio's gone," and sure enough.
Adios, amigo. Well, this is what he gets for. Do you remember? Okay. Besides the page stuff, fuck you, Alberto. But do you remember? So he had a restaurant in Texas, and this dumbass Peros. This dumbass challenged the Usos and Triple H to a fight. Meet me at the cantina.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Challenging the Usos and Triple H. Goddamn. All right. So, Nicola, WWE acquires AAA. We have When Worlds Collide coming up very, very soon. What are your thoughts with NXT and AAA?
Honestly?
Yes?
You two did the talking for me on that one because I'll just sound stupid like normal. So, yeah, we'll go use to what you said. I agree with everything what they said because my brain just went, what?
But I think
hang on. It's like 30 minutes away from another hour from. So my brain's now going.
So it's almost time.
It's almost time. I get it. Almost even hour.
She's already here. She's already here anyway. But yeah.
But no, I think you said it perfectly here. I think if there's more places for people to work and more eyes on their products, it's a plus to go around. Good.
Tony's still a 40-year-old virgin, and that yacht is getting sunk if he carries on doing this bullshit.
You ever felt a breast and it feels like a bag of sand?
What? Yeah, that shit. What? Dude, you're proving my point. You're a 40-year-old virgin for saying that shit.
It was Steve Carell. I can imagine Tony doing that. You ever felt the bag? You ever felt the breast?
That man has a sex doll, mate. What are you on about?
Save me, Tanahashi-san.
What I got to say to that? They're the Mentos. It's a Mentos. They're the fresh maker. So anyway,
what the fuck? Please don't tell me that's not something Will said, is it?
If you ever saw the 4-Year-Old Virgin, Catherine Keener goes into a stash.
Yes.
Goes, what is this? Your date drug? It's a Mentos.
Mentos.
So,
you know the worst phrase? I really love that film.
All right. Here it is, Boner Jams 03. These are just some of the scenes that I was really into in the summer of 2003. All right, we could quote 40-Year-Old Virgin all day, but back to wrestling. I think it's great. Back to wrestling. So with the acquisition, I think it's great for more companies to work together, and I think it's great for more eyes on various products, especially with what we have with Evolve now on Tubi. I've always said this, I think really to generalize it, it's better than – this would have not happened, y'all, like 5 or 6 years ago. This would not have happened, and the fact that we're getting this is absolutely mind-boggling, and I think it's great. I think it's great for professional wrestling, and it's very healthy for the business side of things. And speaking of someone who Nicola would not like to be healthy, I think this is the best way to end the show since we are talking about, as she's warming up, this is the best time to talk about it because since we mentioned our great Uncle Alan, or Cousin Alan, if you watch this match, Styles and Tanahashi had a great match, but since this show is focal pointed on AJ Styles today, he wrestled a match at WrestleMania against some guy who was on the Disney Channel, and a guy who would become a fighter, and a guy who's a YouTube sensation. And
you shouldn't. Carol,
I got to build it up. We had AJ and Logan Paul, and the finish came where that goddamn business manager Jeff, that goddamn Jeff, not the Jeff that we like, not this Jeff, not the Jeff Hardy that we like, that friggin' business manager Jeff comes out, he gives him the brass knucks, and wait, Karrion Kross from Las Vegas, and the fact that he was not on this card, and he got booed in the Andre the Giant. They got booed when he got eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And if you needed somebody to face Randy Orton, that would have been cool. But I'm fine with Joe Hendry. Rant over. Watch Karrion Kross's shoot promo. That's all you need to know, because that was fucking that works. Shoot, Brian Pillman-esque vibes is what I got from that. Anyway, Karrion Kross takes the knucks, and he says, "Alan, hit him, and then AJ Styles throws away the knucks. Logan hits the right hand, that titanium right hand, if you will, because he's got titanium in his hand because he's a dumbass. And he hits him with the pulverizer, that reverse suplex into an inverted DDT. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul gets another victory at WrestleMania. The man is 3-1 at WrestleMania. Got his third victory at WrestleMania. The only loss he's had is to Seth freaking Rollins. Logan Paul got put over by AJ Styles. AJ Styles put over the youngin. That is Logan Paul. Nicola, go.
Right, number one. What the fuck? No, right, he should not have won that. I got what Cross was doing. I do, because obviously he's trying to get angry AJ to come back out, which is fair play. We get that. That's awesome. But I wish he'd done more. You know, like not just been on the sideline, like actually like fucked with Logan Paul for a start, like dragged him out or something. Logan Paul should not have won that. No fucking way. Not against AJ Styles. Not against anyone. He's a piece of shit, and now he's walking around acting like he's this big shot in a suit. Dude, fuck off and get out of my ring. Get out of the ring. Fuck off. Oh. But no, AJ Styles is a fucking legend. He's at WrestleMania. Why is he putting over a piece of shit that shouldn't even be there? That's as bad as having Travis Scott there. Oh, wait, that did happen too. Fuck me. Really?
How about that song? Fiend. Like Fiend.
You know what? It's really putting me off now. Every time I watch like anything do that, he's there, and I'm just like, oh, you're fucking no. He should not be in wrestling. He should not be anywhere.
It's just wild to think that this is AJ Styles' last
year. He's a fucking YouTuber.
It's his last year, his last contract, and
he loses to a piece of shit.
He had to put over Logan Paul.
The match was okay.
Are you serious? Seriously, why?
Business, and the match was okay.
Fuck business, he was shit. The dude can't take a bump for fucking toffee.
I mean, he's doing the buckshot. He's doing the buckshot lariat like Hangman Adam Page. I mean, he did the lion salt better than Chris Jericho does. Fuck you, Chris.
All right, but still, does he really need to ask knuckles every time he's in a fight? Does he need to have some kind of fucking? Can't he win on his own without his bitches following him?
That's the thing. Every day, Jeff's gonna come out with the knucks, so it's very predictable.
Fuck you, Jeff. Not the one we like. Sorry.
No worries.
No, you wanted me to rant.
No, well, the thing too is I agree with you because it's funny. Mama Lark came in, so Mama Lark had stepped out for a bit to do some stuff, and my dad and I are seeing this, and she comes out and she goes, "The match that I have to come back into is this one," because she's like, she can't stand Logan Paul either. So my mom had stepped out of the room. Dad and Papa Lark and I are watching, and she goes, "The match that I have to come back and watch, and it's this one." Great. So yeah, and then she got pissed.
Mama Lark, same as me on that one.
She hates Logan Paul. A lot of people hate Logan Paul. Randy Luna, shout out to her. Randy Luna is someone who subscribed to the channel and is a fan. Randy Luna also hates Logan Paul. So Randy, shout out to you, Mr. Luna. We love you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
So
yeah, the same as I am.
as well. When I'm watching this match, I will say this: it was okay. It wasn't bad, but I've seen better AJ Styles matches, so I'll go to Roberto now. Can you top this with that rant? What were your thoughts on the match and Logan Paul getting the win?
Oh, I was pretty pissed too. Because my whole thought is, if this is really AJ's last contract, and I know it's probably getting overshadowed because Cena's leaving too, and AJ's got his last contract, and everybody's probably retiring or quitting or leaving or going to AEW, or whatever. It's just like, can Uncle Alan not lose to fucking Logan Paul of all fucking people?
I get it, but it still sucks.
It does suck so much, and there's already chatter of once his WWE contract ends, he's gonna go run with the Bucks for a year or two, and it's just like, I don't see that happening. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't see that happening. AJ's pretty banged up.
I would have him be a coach, work at the performance center, coach the kids, work like he would be very good. I mean, the wealth of knowledge that he has, he would be great in that role.
100%. I mean, definitely have him go down to NXT. But I also wouldn't mind him running an AEW for a year. So if it happens, cool. If not, that's fine too. Just let him win a couple times this year.
I mean, the last thing I could say about the AJ thing is, before we wrap up, y'all, is the fact that on Raw, AJ and Karrion Kross got a thing, and he's like, "Hey man, I was trying to help you, trying to get you angry." And he goes, "You know what? Maybe I'm fine. Maybe you're the one who's angry. Maybe you should be the one who takes out anger." He goes, "Maybe I will." And he's like, Karrion Kross is like, "Fine, all right. You say I'm the one with the problem. You say I'm the one with the anger. Watch what I do with this anger." So, I mean, where do we go from here now with AJ Styles and Karrion Kross?
Boy, Karrion Kross, he let out some anger.
Oh, that promo, then Raw, like, everybody's like, "Oh God!" And there was people crapping on him because, "Oh God, man, he's doing the work shoot stuff." And first of all, Brian Pillman was the innovator of the work shoot stuff, calling friggin' Book a Man, "I respect you, Book a Man" in WCW, the stuff he did in ECW that really resonated with the loose cannon persona. And I'm gonna say this: Karrion Kross was influenced by guys like Brian Pillman and stuff like that, Sean O'Hare's. You have that influx, and I think Triple H pretty much told them, "Hey, man, fucking go for it. Say what you want to say. This is not Karrion Kross talking. This is Killer Kross talking." I loved it. And you saw.
I don't know if you heard Scarlett call him by his real name.
Kevin.
You start calling him you start calling people by their real name. That's like, oh shit.
She's like, Kevin.
That's kind of serious.
Oof. I'm intrigued to see where it goes, and I really will say this, man. AJ Styles, for his storied career, for over 20 plus years, we've been watching this man. Go back and watch the Tanahashi match. Watch everything that he's done. He's a human highlight reel, and he is simply phenomenal. As I do the pose before we close this out. Y'all, it was great watching this with y'all because I know this was your first time. And for me, the 13-year-old who watched this the first time, and as I watched this almost 20 years later as a 33-year-old man, still holds up. I think you guys can agree as well. This match still holds up.
Well, it still holds up.
100%.
Well, to quote the late great Road Warrior Hawk, our next watch along, and I swear not a lot of these watch alongs are going to have every Jeff Hardy match, but we are going to be watching a Jeff Hardy match next. as the match that we're going to watch, and I figured I'd choose this one since we are coming towards Backlash very soon. Jeff Hardy wrestled a debuting superstar at Backlash 2002. This superstar took out his brother. He took out the likes of Maven, Al Snow, Spike Dudley, Rikishi, DDP, Bang! And so many other great superstars. Hi, Mom! And so many other legendary superstars at this time. As we will be watching Backlash 2002, Jeff Hardy against a gentleman making his pay-per-view debut, accompanied by Paul Heyman, the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. So we will be watching Brock Lesnar's pay-per-view debut against a young Jeff Hardy being accompanied by Lita. 23 years later, I figured we watch that because we love us some Jeff. So with that... And I will say this since they're both on the show. We will also be doing Ring of Honor after that. So we mentioned Tanahashi-san. We will also be watching back Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi from 2005.
Oof.
Kobashi-san.
Oof.
Nice.
Dave Meltzer creamed his jeans back in 2005 when that came out. So, yeah.
Has he still not cleaned his fucking office?
No.
Awesome. I knew I'd do. I knew Mike could do that.
Still nice.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
well,
when we get to that, yeah.
So that's what you can expect from the watch-alongs. I will say this about Dave Meltzer and the 60-year-old man into his DMs. Boom. All right, now that I got that rant out of my system, let's close this out for real. We have our Karrion Kross, as we mentioned. Our origin show is coming, as we're going to be talking about his TNA career, the WWE career, the helmet. The helmet!
The helmet!
No, Vince McMahon, you tough. Fucking suck my dick. Ugh.
5.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, we'll today.
And we'll talk about the fact that they didn't want Scarlett, his actual wife, to come up to the main roster with him, and so much more on that origin story. And then we'll keep going more predictions because we have Backlash, which is headlined by John Cena and Randy Orton. And then, of course, we have Double or Nothing, which we now know it is Mercedes Moné against Jamie and the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And then it's Hangman Adam Page. The men is Hangman Adam Page and who's the other one?
No idea. I haven't seen
it. That's going to bug me now.
Fletcher? Is it Fletcher?
Oh, it's Fletcher or... No, wait a minute. I'm going to look that up now.
Little head, big body. Little head, big body.
I thought it was Hangman and...
That's going to bug me now. Hold on.
Osprey.
Is it?
Philip Mike. Philip Mike, bro.
No, that's going to bug me now. Is it? No, yeah, he beat Takeshita. That's right. I got it. It is. All right, hold on. Yeah, Will Ospreay against Hangman or Kyle Fletcher. All right, we know it's going to be Hangman. So there we go, as I looked that up. So it's either going to be Will Ospreay against Hangman Page or Kyle Fletcher. I don't see Hangman losing. I don't.
Nope.
No. All right, well, we'll get to that when we get to that, as I friggin' had a brain fart. So now let's properly...
Yeah.
So we'll properly close out the show now. Roberto, you do an amazing job with our social medias. I know we are no longer on the Twitter because fuck you, Elon. So
I still am because I don't know why no one else is.
I'll get to you in a second, Eager Beaver. But
I didn't understand why everyone's not on Twitter anymore. That's what I meant. I'm still... Never mind. Carry on. I'll ask after the show because I'm still stupid.
So deep into the art of wrestling, where can we follow us, Roberto, and you on social media? Go ahead, bro.
Linktree/BlackHeartCBD3. That's where you'll find all of our social media. We got an Instagram, we got a Facebook. You'll find the link over to my YouTube page where you have all of our episodes in chronological order. We are still on the TikTok. Hopefully, if we don't get banned or striked or whatever it is, or the TikTok doesn't even disappear completely, but fuck TikTok too, so whatever. You can find us there while you still can. We're working on a Blue Sky so we can get on all the social media platforms. Like Mike had mentioned, we are not on Twitter anymore for the obvious reason of fuck you, Elon. So that's where you can find us. You can find me over at Linktree /Hey I'm Rob. A lot of things going on. We got the YouTube started finally. We're doing some guitar covers. We just recently did a System of a Down one. We did 2 Deftones ones. We got 2 more coming this week. We're going to be doing a lot of things. a lot of cool guitar things over on that channel. Maybe we'll even get some other things up in the next couple of months. But if you like what you hear, follow me accordingly. Speaking of following me accordingly, over on the Max Wrestling YouTube page, go follow them as well. We have Kicking It with the TSK, linktree.com/KITW, TSK1. You can find all of our social media there. We are going to be dropping an episode, WrestleMania, a WrestleMania review. We reviewed both nights of WrestleMania into one show. Listen to what the boys have to say. Go over there, shoot us a like, shoot us a follow, hit that subscribe button, and just keep it too sweet.
Alrighty, with that being said, fuck you, Elon, and TikTok on this cock. So, Nicola McDonald, where can we follow you on the social media fronts? Go.
Right, okay, so I'll talk to this about this after. On the Twitter, because I'm still on there without realising that these weren't, so they can give me the finger at this point, because I didn't realise. Anyway, Demon Esther, no, that's Instagram. Oh, wow.
Who am I hearing? What?
Well, yeah, Nicola Mac 853 on Twitter, even though I'm probably going to deactivate it straight after this show, so whatever. Demon Esther on Instagram. My main one, Nicola, Michael put down because I still haven't fucking learned it. Because, yeah, you know, Dan's the same as me. Hi, Dan. Was that it? Yeah, that's it. And
oh, you hold on. Wait a minute. You killed Piggy. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, yeah, I forgot. As Rob said, go over to Max Wrestling. I did the Demoness. Did go and destroy a little Seth and Piggy, and he's now rotting in hell. But they keep begging me to release him, but Demoness is not having it right now. So yeah, everybody dies. See you all in hell.
I think the best way to sum that up is Demoness. So with that being said, I'm only kidding, but truth is truth. So with that being said, you can check out yours truly on the song.
You picked a time, immortal.
So you can still follow me on social at SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter front. Once again, fuck you, Elon. And you can check me out on Instagram on mlarkinmb and larkin_92 on Instagram, StephenMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com. Subscribe to S&M Network shows. We are at over 1.23 plus subscribers. Keep it going. Keep it rising. We appreciate y'all. We actually just went live not too long ago for the weekly review for WrestleMania Nights 1 and Night 2. Robert came in on the live and joined Paul and Dan and I for our talks about WrestleMania. So thank you, good sir, for coming in on that. And we're going to be doing more of those in the future. So Nicola, if you're awake, you could also come in too on those as well.
I knew that was coming.
And you can check out Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, Steve and Mike Show. Hi, Steve. Hi. No ICP here. So you can check out the Pop Culture Podcast on the Mic with Mike, the LFC podcast, the weekly review, Uncaged, everything. Hey, we are there, everywhere. Who am I here again? I'm Mike Larkin, and you can go fuck yourself. With that being said, for Nicola McDonald, Robert Davis, my name is Mike Larkin. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate the laughs. We appreciate talking about this great art form that is professional wrestling. And we will see you in our next Origins, our next watch-alongs, our next predictions. God damn it, Tony, stop adding 10 more matches to every fucking card. And we will see you in the next edition of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. Goodbye, everybody. TikTok on this cock.
I'll pay you.
I love you to the cock.
Ow. I forgot there was something there.